Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 143 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we're talking about a thing and concept, an idea, a process. I learned from Jim Edwards, yikes, probably 15 years ago. Not sure exactly. I'd have to look back at my calendar, but he wrote a book on it. He led a course on it. And it's called 5 Steps to Getting Anything That You Want. And, if you've seen The Secret, be, do, have, anything like that, you know about manifestation and affirmations and setting big, hairy, audacious goals. We're going to run through the 5-step process, but I want to share a little story this morning. Yesterday, as I was thinking about this topic, I thought, well, I've shared Jim Edwards' version of this, and now I've created my own version of it, which is very close to his, for years, for at least a decade, over a decade for sure. Prior to that, on in individual coaching and conversations, but last 10 years, last 8 years for sure, I've shared it at least a couple of times a year in the annual challenge and in other content that I've created and shared, because it's such a powerful strategy, right? It's such a process anybody can do, no matter where you are, no matter what your situation. You can start doing this today. So I thought, well, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. It's been around for years. What does ChatGPT have to say about it? And I got back this super snarky 5-step process and a super snarky way of looking at manifestation and the law of attraction and visualization and things. And I guess maybe it's because it's a computer and a robot. It thinks it's kind of woo-woo, pa-pa, poo-poo. But I was kind of annoyed. I think that we're going to break up for a couple of days and I'll find another AI that I want to interact with instead of ChatGPT. But anyway, today I want to share this process because although the snarky one annoyed me, the real process is absolutely positively amazing and can feel miraculous if you apply it in your life. And I'll share a couple different versions of it. And then you can decide and apply it yourself. Pick one thing financial this year that you want to achieve and start applying this process. The first thing we have to do is decide what we want, right? We have to imagine and decide, what is it that we want? What's our goal? What do we want financially this year? Now I'm going to say, don't just stick with this year. Pick the biggest, hairiest, most audacious goal, BHAGs we call them, that you can come up with in your mind. If nothing could stop you, if anything was possible, what financial goal and objective would you wish for? I will tell you right now, I want to be a billionaire. I say I want to be a billionaire. Well, will I ever probably be a billionaire? I don't know. Probably not. But that is my big, hairy, audacious goal. Why? Because I want to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people on the planet. So what we have to do is take what is our want and turn it into, from a don't want into a want. A lot of times we say, oh, I don't want this, I don't want that. Well, then what do you want? People will ask you. I ask people all the time, what do you want? And I would think about 2 in 10, it's actually gone up, can articulate and say, this is what I want. This is what I truly want. Most people are dumbfounded and say, you know what? Nobody really ever asked me that before, and I've never spent any time thinking about it. Well, it's critical, because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know where you're going, the wind will take you in any direction that it happens to be blowing, which isn't usually the direction we want to go, right? So to change a don't want into a want, we use these 5 steps. We write it down. We recite it. We say it, and I say it out loud if you possibly can, at least once a day. We create affirmations around it. We affirm and act as if we have it already. We visualize ourselves as if we have it already. And then we apply focus. We focus on the thing that we want. We are grateful for every little step that moves us toward the thing that we want. And we focus continuously, as much as humanly possible, on that thing that we want. Why? Because that tells our subconscious and the whole rest of the universe to start lining things up and making things happen so that we can have that thing that we want, or that we say that we want, that we write that we want, that we affirm that we want, that we focus on, that we take inspired action toward achieving. So what are the 5 steps to get whatever you want? Now, I didn't pull up Jim's book, or I highly recommend it though. He's got some really cool tools that he uses. One is step 2. But first, like I said, you have to imagine and decide what you want. I think we learned this in the law of attraction. We've learned this in just about anything. And what I like about this is it reminds us that human beings are these incredibly powerful manifestors and creator machines, right? Everything that exists around us, I'm talking everything that exists around us, started as an idea in someone's mind. And then they took action, they focused on it, they imagined it, they invented or created it, then they made more of it. And the things that we just take for granted today all followed the same process. So if billions of things can be created out of thin air and different types of energy and resources, then you can create the financial situation that you really, really, truly desire and are grateful to have. Second step is to visualize. And this is where Jim uses a really powerful tool that I love and use and share all the time. It's called a power vision movie. And instead of just visualizing and imagining in your head, you actually put yourself into a movie as if you've already got the big, hairy, audacious goal that you've set for yourself. So say you want to be a billionaire. You're going to see yourself already being a billionaire as if it's a movie. You're going to feel, you're going to see. And the reason it's so powerful is it brings in all of our senses. You're going to feel, you're going to hear, you're going to taste, you're going to touch. Did I say that? You're going to have all five senses, and then maybe even your sixth sense gets tapped into by creating a movie, an action movie out of your visualization. Now, the fun thing about this is you can visualize a whole lot of different things in different movies and different scenes and flip them and find the ones that work best for you. I think that's part of why it's such a powerful tool. It makes it 100% uniquely your own, which is what helps us to create and manifest more quickly. Third, we're going to act as if we have it already. Now, financially, this doesn't mean go start spending money like you've got $1 billion and just do whatever you want and rack up all kinds of debt that would be acting in a negative way toward as if, but act as if by treating yourself, and every time you do something that feels like it would be a billionaire habit or a billionaire action, be grateful for that, and then see yourself doing that in the future. See yourself buying a yacht in the future. See yourself building a mansion in the future, whatever it looks like to you. And then take inspired action, right? So act as if, I guess in your imagination, but then as you take inspired action and you experience things that feel like your big, hairy, audacious goal, be grateful for them. 4, be relentless, be consistent, take action, be consistent in your visualization, in your imagination, in your affirmation of and I say set up affirmations for yourself. I am a billionaire. I love being a billionaire. I am so grateful, happy, and excited to be a billionaire. Whatever affirmations work for you. I have a couple that I use, but I'm not going to share them unless you ask me personally because they're mine. And we each have to create our own. And then after being relentless, never giving up, don't let naysayers or people that don't believe in what you want to accomplish derail you, because guess what? It's not their life. It's not they're not paying your bills. They're not creating the life you want. You're creating the life you want. And then finally, tap into universal power, right? Universal energy, manifestation, creation. If everybody else can do it, you can do it too. And guess what? Where we are right now is just a culmination of the things that we've believed and used this process on in the past on a subconscious level. So now we take this process in our own hands and we use it to actually consciously create what we want. So that's our action item for today. Go ahead and apply this 5-step process to the financial goal or objective that you want. And I said, make it a big shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars one, because you probably, and I hate to say this, but I'm agreeing with ChatGPT, you're probably not going to get there, but you're going to get a whole lot closer and have a lot more satisfaction and a lot better financial life and situation than if you don't set a big goal, that if you don't go for it, if you don't take some action, if you don't decide what you want, if you don't do any of those things. So imagine, set your big, hairy, audacious goal, visualize it as if you've already got it, use Power Vision Movie. If you need more about that, hit me up and ask. Thirdly, act as if you already have it and be grateful and celebrate every little move you make toward that big, hairy, audacious goal and objective. Be relentless, consistent, take action, inspired action, and then see how it works. If it works, do more of it. If it doesn't work, to move you in the direction you want to go, do something else. And finally, tap into the power of the universe and the energy of the universe, because there are resources and people and things out there that want to help us get what we want. We just have to be open to seeing them and then reaching out and saying, yes, for me, please. All right. That's our topic for today. Love to know your take on this. Have you ever used a process like this before on a conscious level? Like, hey, I'm going to create this on purpose. I guarantee you have. If you think back on any goal you've ever achieved, you followed a very similar process. Things don't just fall into our lap. We're at least at a subconscious level going through these steps. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.